Okay, we'll start with acknowledgement of country. I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we are gathering today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And like them, it's good to remember that we're sharing knowledge and we're learning through talking together. Quick overview of Teams. If you're more familiar with Zoom than Teams, it is a little bit different. All the controls should be across the top of your screen on the right-hand side. If you want to put something in chat or see what other people have posted in chat, you want to click on the chat button. If you want to see what other people are in the meeting, you can click on people. I think everybody's got access to that. If you want to raise your hand to attract our attention, that's the raise hand button. We probably won't use react unless you want to send me lots of applause. Skipping across to, if you want to turn your camera on or off, just click on camera. If it's off, you'll have a line through it. Same with microphone. If you want to mute yourself, click on it and there should be a line across it. If you need to share your screen, it's the share button over there. And if you need to leave the meeting, obviously it's leave. So that's pretty easy, pretty sensible. Just some introductions of us. I'm Deborah. I'm a member of the ASCCA board, and I'm also now president of Computer Pals for Seniors this morning, the Hills since this morning, and we're in Western Sydney in New South Wales. Christine, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christine. So I'm also a member of Computer Pals for Seniors in the Hills. And as of this morning, I've taken on the role that Deborah had, which is the senior trainer. So lovely to meet you all. As I say, I'm going to be helping Deborah here. So if you've got any questions, either raise your hand, I'll try and keep an eye out for that. Pop something in the chat and I'll also keep an eye on the chat. But, you know, bear with me. I'll try and multitask here. So, but very nice to meet you all.
Great. Thanks, Christine. Okay, we haven't got time for you to all introduce yourselves, but if you like, you can put your name and your club or your location in chat and we'll see that. A lot of you already have your names up under your team's ID, so I have a rough idea of who you are and where you are. Guidelines for today, it would be helpful if you muted when you're not speaking, just in case there's background noise that distracts everybody. You can put questions and comments in the chat and Christine will keep an eye on that and make sure that we answer. To be respectful of others and have fun, and I encourage you to participate. Thank you. Lovely to see all those messages going into chat. We are recording the session for those people who can't attend, and I will post that edited recording on YouTube probably within a week to 2 weeks. So if you don't want to be recorded, turn your video off. That's clicking on the camera in the top right, and you can put your questions in chat and we'll make sure we get through them. Okay, so the topic for today was Windows 11, and I took to heart what you said about the last forum I ran, that you would prefer to have some content presented and not just Q&A. So I've picked 3 topics for Windows 11. One's BitLocker. Of course, the maintenance guys at my computer club have been telling us about that recently, and I think it's something everybody should know. One's the Snipping Tool, capturing text. I don't know how long it's been doing that, but I got very excited when I saw that was now available. And I thought we might also have a look at Voice Dictation course, simply because I'm running a course on Voice Dictation for my club in a few weeks, and it will be a good dress rehearsal for me. Okay, BitLocker. Who here knows what BitLocker is and has consciously decided to turn it on or off? Anyone? Well, that's great because it means I'm going to tell you something really useful. After the 24H2 update, Windows 11 enabled BitLocker by default. You probably didn't even notice. And what BitLocker does, as I understand it, is it encrypts the data on your device to protect it. So if somebody steals your computer, even if they take the hard drive out and put it in another computer to bypass your PIN, I don't know quite how they do that, but apparently they can. They still can't get into your data because it's all encrypted securely. So that sounds like a really good thing, except that if anything goes wrong and you can't sign into your Windows 11 computer, you can be locked out. And if you don't have a recovery key, you will be like permanently locked out of all of your data. So there's a pro, greater security, protection of your data, and there's a con. Oops, what if things go wrong and I get locked out and I haven't got my recovery key? So we're going to talk about how you know and where to find the recovery key, and then it's your decision whether you have it on or off. Okay, so I did a cute little infographic about what BitLocker does. It's a built-in Windows security feature. It encrypts your drive. It locks your file and system behind an encryption key so your data stays safe. So it encrypts the whole drive, or you can specify which drives. It uses strong encryption, so your data is scrambled. When you turn on your device, BitLocker asks for your PIN or password or security key to unlock it. So effectively, when you unlock your device, you're also unlocking BitLocker and you have access to your data. And then once it's unlocked, Windows works as usual. Now somebody's making a noise in the background. I'm going to... Christine, can you track them down and mute them? Thank you. So it protects your data against being lost or stolen, or as I said, if they take the drive out and put it in another computer, still protected. It can protect your internal drives, can protect your external drives and the system drive, depending on what version of Windows you've got. So strong security built in, so no extra software, works in the background without you noticing. Good for things like laptops when you're traveling with your laptop and there's a greater risk that you're going to lose it. So, okay. But the really important thing is that you need the recovery key. So if you can't log into your computer or your device can't start, you've got the key that BitLocker will ask you for. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So is BitLocker on? The first step is you need to know whether you've got Windows Home or Windows Pro. And the way that we find that out is you type system information in the search box. So let me demonstrate that, because I didn't know you could do this until I did the research for this course. I'm going to escape out of that, go down to my search field and just type, I got to type system information. And that comes up with a whole lot of information about my computer. And what I'm looking for is it tells me at the top my operating system is Microsoft Windows 11 Pro. Some people might have Windows Home, and then the way that you get your recovery key is slightly different. So I need to talk about both of those. So that's the first thing to know. Is it Windows Pro or is it Windows Home?
Don't stand somewhere else because I only have one.
Oh, is it Zoom?
Okay, Anya, I'm just going to mute you because there's a bit of background noise. Oh no, you're muted. It's okay. Okay, so that's that. And then you want to know whether BitLocker is actually turned on or off. As I said, when they did the update, it was automatically turned on. After hearing from our maintenance team at Computer Pals for Seniors The Hills, I turned mine off. But that's a personal choice. So how do I know whether BitLocker's on? Easiest way to do it on Windows Pro is just to type BitLocker in your search bar in the taskbar, and you'll see I've got an option Manage BitLocker, and you will see it says BitLocker is currently off. If I wanted to turn BitLocker on, I would just click on Turn on BitLocker. Notice that that's my operating system drive, and removable data drives. I've also got BitLocker off for that, for my backup external hard drive as well. So I've got it off completely. If you've got, let me just get out of that and go back to this. So we've looked at Windows Home or Windows Pro. Just type in system information. And then with Windows Pro, you can just type BitLocker in the search field and it'll tell you whether it's on or off. Done that demo. If you've got Windows Home, the process to find out whether encryption is working is a bit more complicated, and I can't demonstrate it because I haven't got Windows Home. It's Start, Settings, Privacy and Security, Device Encryption. And that should tell you whether device encryption is enabled or disabled. If it doesn't appear at all, then it means device encryption is not available on your computer. So that's the second step. Any questions so far?
If I can, I mean, I had no idea that BitLocker existed before this, and I think I'm worried that not knowing it was encrypted, I wouldn't know to get a recovery key, and so I'm leaning towards turning mine off. Can you just explain briefly your decision to turn yours off, which is my immediate inclination?
Yeah, I've turned it off on my PC because my PC sits at home and it's highly unlikely I'm going to move it or lose it, or that somebody's going to break in and steal it. So I think my data on my PC is pretty secure, and I'm not too fussed about whether it's encrypted or not. But I'm really unnerved by the idea that if somehow I couldn't log in and I didn't have a recovery key, I wouldn't be able to access my data. Whereas on my laptop, which I do transport around and I leave at the computer club where other people can access it, I've left encryption on for that one. So horses for courses, you've got to weigh up the risks either way. That's where it goes for me. Christine, have you got a view about this?
No, look, I completely agree with you. For me, because I use a Mac, so it's a little different. And so, but I completely agree with what you're saying, Deborah, in that, you know, if your computer is at home, chances are it'll never ever get you know, you're not going to forget it somewhere, or somebody's not going to pick it up and run away with it easily. But I also, Stephen, I agree with you. I don't think enough is known about this, and the fact that you need to actually capture what your key is. And I think that a lot of people would get caught by that.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the head of our maintenance team was in a situation where he was locked out, but luckily he had saved his recovery key somewhere else and he was able to get back in again. So you never know when it's going to happen to you. I now need to tell you how to find your recovery key. I will put all of this in the notes and send them out afterwards, so don't freak out too much. So I'll talk you through the process and then I'll demonstrate it, but you'll see when I demonstrate it that I haven't actually got a recovery key because it's not turned on. So we're going to go into command prompt, which might be unfamiliar territory for some of you, but it's not as scary as it seems. I right-click on Start. I right-click on Command Prompt so that I've got administrator rights. I say yes to give me permission. I type in this string of code, and you have to get the spaces exactly right. And then it will display what your recovery key is. Right, let's get out of that and see how good I am at doing this. So I'm right-clicking on the start window and I'm going to, where's command prompt? Calls it different things on different computers. And I thought
Terminal will give you that.
Okay. Oh, and I've got terminal admin. So do you reckon terminal admin will take me straight into admin?
Yep.
Okay, then I have to give permission for the app to make changes. And then I get into command prompt, and then I'm going to type in this string of characters. MANAGE-BDE space hyphen PROTCTORS space hyphen get, and the name of my drive is C drive. But if I was doing this for, I don't know, external hard drive, I would put in D or whatever the name of the drive is. Fingers crossed, when I press this, it's not going to give me an error. It's just going to tell me there's no key. There we go. Error. No key protectors found. If I had BitLocker turned on, what you would see there would be a 48-digit code, which you could then copy and paste and maybe print out and save somewhere. Don't save it to your computer, because if you can't get access to your computer, you can't get access to the code. So it has to be somewhere away from the computer. So that's the process. And as I said, I will give you the instructions for that in the notes.
Deborah, Beatrix has got her hand raised at the moment. Beatrix, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I came in a bit late, so I'm a bit behind, but I was wondering if you have all your data stored on external drives, do you still have the same problem of being locked out, or can I just pick up the drive and attach it to another computer?
Yeah, good question. I think by default, it also encrypts your external hard drives, but maybe that's optional. Let me just ask, because I don't actually know the proper answer. Let me go to my friend Gemini and say, when BitLocker is turned on, does it also encrypt external hard drives automatically? I would have thought the logical answer would be no, unless you tell it to, but Logic and Microsoft. No, there we go. Turning on BitLocker on your internal drive does not automatically encrypt external hard drives. They have a different sub-feature called BitLocker to go, which you have to enable manually. There you go. So that's a relief.
Right.
Thank you, Gemini.
Okay. And Stephen's also.
I just turned it off, and it's warning me that it takes a long time to do, and it is taking a long time to do, but it says I can continue using my device. So it was a query about what happens when you do it. It looks like it's just decrypting, but I find that a bit scary, that this is something I knew nothing about and could
Yes.
potentially leave me unable to access.
Absolutely.
It seems
Yes.
fundamentally flawed as a
Yes.
decision to do that with
Yeah.
an opt-out rather than a deliberate opt-in.
Choice. Absolutely.
I
Yep.
find it disturbing.
Completely
Thumbs
agree.
down, Microsoft.
Yes. Yeah.
Big Brother makes
Yeah.
the decisions for you instead of
Yeah.
consulting you.
Mm.
I'm sure Christine will say Apple doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah. They make other choices that
Yeah.
are also not great. And Stace, I see you've got your hand up as well.
All I wanted to say was I've got a home version. I typed in what you type in for a pro, and it went and it did exactly what it did for the pro, and my BitLocker's off.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't have to turn it off.
Mm.
Oh, interesting. I
It is
wonder.
interesting.
Might not have.
Interesting.
You may not have updated maybe to the latest version
Yeah, I
of the
update
software.
all the time.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. I'll see if I can find out.
Anyway, so that's how you find your recovery key. So this is really me summing up the pros and cons. If you have BitLocker on, it protects your data more securely by encrypting it. If you have it off, well, that prevents you accidentally locking yourself out of your hard drive and not being able to find your recovery key. So it's your choice. And I noticed that Microsoft did provide a warning about this. Microsoft support cannot retrieve, regenerate, or bypass a missing BitLocker key. If the recovery key cannot be located anywhere, you will need to reset the drive using a Windows installation drive. So this is why we have these club forums, so we can tell you about these things we think you need to know about. Okay, any other questions or comments before we move on to the next topic? Okay.
I think that it is. I agree with Stephen. I'm wary of it, and I don't feel comfortable with it, and I won't be using it.
Yeah. All right. You know how to turn it off now.
Well, it is off. Yeah, I know
It's
how
off for you. Yeah, but everybody else knows how to turn it off if they want to. Okay, the next topic that I wanted to tell you about was the snipping tool, and particularly that it can extract text as well as snip images. Who knew that? Who's used extract text in the snipping tool?
For the first time about 10 minutes ago when you mentioned it, I had a look and it works. It's really easy.
Yeah, I know.
It's a great feature.
I don't know when they added it. I think I was subscribing to some newsletter or other and they mentioned it and I thought, oh yeah, that's cool. Because of course with PDF files, you can just copy and paste to a Word document. But with images, extracting text from images is a bit more difficult. So I thought I would demonstrate this. So let me get out of that. Oh, I should probably point out where it is actually. So you open up the snipping tool, which is one of those Windows features that comes with Windows. You don't have to install it. And you've got taking a photo of something, taking a video recording. You can put a timer on, which I sometimes find handsy when I'm trying to snip something that disappears when I click on it. But this is the extracting text tool. So if I get out of there again and I go down to, what I'm going to do is bring up a photo that I prepared earlier. And let's see, we've got a newspaper report about my great-great-grandparents. And I'm going to turn on the snipping tool, which is the little scissors image in the taskbar. I have it there all the time because as a trainer, it's so useful. Here's what that looks like when the snipping tool's turned on.
I don't know how to use it.
You'll find out.
It's a great little feature.
I'm going to click on the text extractor option. There is also a shortcut, but I never use that. And then I just highlight with my mouse the text that I want to copy. I go to copy all text. And then if I open up a Word document, I can go Control V, and there is the text that was in the image. So this is extracting text from images instead of having to type it out by hand, as opposed to extracting text from PDF, which is just copy and paste. Not perfect. You can see that's got an X instead of an N because the type wasn't very good. But if you're a family historian like me, this is a really good tool, which I'm going to share with all my family history friends. Any questions about that? Do you want to demonstrate it again?
That looks
I can see
good.
Russell's got his hand up. So Russell, you got a question?
Oh, that was my hand being up from being asked, do I use it? I use it about 10 times a day, but I use it quite differently.
Okay.
Much more simply. I didn't know what those icons were along the top, so I just click on the scissors, that brings it up. I press plus new, and then whatever it is, whether it's a photo, a PDF file, text or whatever, I highlight it. I just do Control copy and I paste it into Word, and then I print it. And I don't bother whether it's when it goes into the Word file, it goes in as a PDF, and I might resize it onto the page if I want an enlarged photograph or something. And I just print it. Now I can explore the extra options of those images.
It would go in as a PNG or JPEG, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the snipping tool, when it started off, was just creating images that you could save or copy or paste. But now you've got these extra ones. I have not played with screen recording, but I think that could be pretty cool. Maybe in a future one we'll explore that.
Do it now.
That's good for training. That's good for training as well, Deborah. So if there's like some, you want people to follow a video, you can do it, record your screen, and then people can see afterwards how to do something.
All right, well, let's try. I'll do a snip. Oh, how do I? Okay, so I've chosen record. I'm going to click on new. And then what do I do?
Select an area of screen and...
Yeah, and then maybe I could show how it's changing.
You need to hit start first. You haven't, still waiting to actually start recording.
There we go. And then countdown, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll say Smith and say I'm demonstrating word processing. I would show how to bold and change the color. And then I would stop the recording. Stop recording. And then I should be able to play this.
Yes, correct.
Screen recordings are automatically saved to your screen recordings folding. You can turn it off in the app settings. Oh, here we go, play.
And you can do audio as well. Did I see a mic that there was an option of turning the mic on as well?
I think so.
That's very cool.
Yeah. There we go. Well, I accepted the challenge and I won.
Yes. And Stace has got his hand up as well. Stace?
Where are we? Hang on. Oh, this is neat because I'm an unpublished writer, so this will come in handy. And I'm going through newspaper clippings in the State Library in Sydney in my spare time. So a lot of them don't come out properly, but with this snipping tool, and I'll be able to.
Yes.
Yeah. When I think how much time I've spent transcribing things that I photographed from the state archives, I think this is good. Okay, so that is the snipping tool. Any other questions about that one?
Looks like Russell's got his hand up again.
Oh,
No? Okay.
I'll
You
try
just
and
haven't
look at
taken
my
it down yet.
Yeah.
Got it. All good.
Okay. Oh, good. Alrighty. So that was snipping tool. I do encourage you to play with all of the options there. And
What does the timer one do? You were saying
timer.
it.
Okay, so the way
I've not
the
played with timer. I don't.
all right, let me escape out of here again and go back.
Thank you.
So timer. You know how sometimes you want to snip an image of, say, a drop-down menu, but if you click away from the drop-down menu, it disappears? Bastards. So if I put the timer on, I'll just go, it doesn't work for recording. I've got to do it on image. And then I say 5-second delay. And then I need to show something. If I do a right click, maybe. Maybe not. Oh, Deborah, what have you done? Put the timer on. 5-second delay. Oh, and then go new, I think. And then, there we go. Normally, if I clicked at this point to highlight the text would disappear because it's a right-click menu. But because I've delayed it, I can select it and the drop-down menu is still displayed. It's a useful tool for trainers when you're writing training manuals and you want to show somebody what the drop-down menu is.
Very useful.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, moving
Thank you.
on. Yeah. Moving on to, I should put this back to current slide, shouldn't I? So that's the snipping tool. Have fun with that one. And voice dictation is the last one. Who uses voice dictation rather than typing? Barry does.
I've used it through Google Docs and Google Drive, particularly on my phone, but I haven't used it through Word or only Google Drive and Google Docs.
All right, I'm going to demonstrate it in Word. I would normally do it from the Word thing rather than Alt and squiggle keyboard command. So again, I'll get out of here. I will open up a Word document. And notice up here it's on the Home tab, right over on the right-hand side, there's a dictate. You can dictate to author content and voice commands. You can also transcribe.
Just get my glasses.
Yeah, okay. The transcribe, I've used that I wanted to transcribe an interview that was on an old cassette tape. So I digitized the cassette tape and then used transcribe to transcribe the tape into a Word document, which was quite cool. But let me just demonstrate dictate. Okay, so we are dictating to demonstrate how to use dictate in a Word document. And you can see that it does pretty well. Full stop, new paragraph. Well, that didn't work so well.
Full stop worked.
Stop. Paragraph. Put the next paragraph in bold. Okay, bold. I don't know whether I'm very good at doing this, but I'm sure with practice I could get better. And then I'll just turn the microphone off. So you can see I don't do this very often because I'm a touch typist. But for somebody who's not a touch typist, who's a two-finger typist, I reckon this is a really good tool. Now, I just need to go back to this on current slide and mention, I'll just go to the next slide and then I'll come back to the any text field. You are, in theory, supposed to be able to use formatting commands. You'll see for me it didn't work terribly well, but when you say bold, it's supposed to turn it to bold, and then when you say remove bold, it takes the bold away. And similarly, you can capitalize. You're supposed to be able to say new paragraph. Didn't work so well for me. And align text. So a lot of the text formatting commands that you would use in Word, you should be able to do by dictating. And like anything, it's just a matter of learning what the commands are and practicing with them until you get them to work. I'm not going to excruciatingly try and make that work right now. I think you've got the idea. The other thing that you could do, which I didn't know, is in any text field across Windows, Windows plus H lets you dictate. Let me demonstrate that one, and we will go to, let's see. Oh, I wonder if I could, oh, that's got dictate in there, so that's not a very good example. Say I go to Google and Windows H, can't see, but I'm holding down the Windows key and pressing H on my keyboard.
Oh,
Chocolate cake recipe with walnuts that is high protein. So I didn't need to type in my search. Oh, stop, sorry, stop. I didn't need to type in my search term. I could just dictate it. So that was Windows and H turns on voice dictation on any Windows screen. I haven't tested it out. Let's see if I test up here.
How do you think you're going?
And dictate.
David, it doesn't seem to work.
www.abc.net.au. I did a pretty good job of that, except that it, oh, again, I keep forgetting to turn it off. So, but I hope that you get the idea. Windows plus H, voice dictation, no more typing. And I guess there will be times where it's useful and times where you'll forget you can do it and times when it's just easier to type. But I think that is pretty cool.
Mm.
Right, back to the slideshow. Current slide. That's that. That's the formatting commands. I'll put all of this in the handout afterwards and email it out to you. Any questions about voice dictation?
I wondered how good it was.
Who was that? That was Russell? You're muted, Russell.
No, that I have a question, but that was not me speaking.
Oh, okay. Well, you can have your question because I don't know who was speaking.
If I bring up Word, there's no dictate button up at the top right.
Okay, what version of Word have you got? Have you got Microsoft 365 or have you got one of those pay for a license once and then never?
Yes, I've got the pay for a license once, and that's running on a new computer with Windows 11 Pro. So I thought the dictate was in Windows, not in Word.
David Waste is a great guy.
I get an error message that says this product is no longer supported. So this is a Word message. And I think it's referring to my version of Word. No longer.
Could be. Yeah, let's go back to AI and ask. Is dictate supported in older versions of Microsoft Office? No. Sorry.
I opened a Word document and did the Windows H, and the little, the microphone thing popped up, and I could dictate straight into a Word document.
Yes.
And I've got a very old version of Word.
Yep.
Yes. So there's Dictate built into the Office products for the newer versions, but it looks like Windows H works independently of that almost across all of Microsoft. So that's a good alternative if you haven't got a later version of Microsoft Office.
Yep.
And even for 365 subscribers, there's no support for voice tools on builds older than whatever that is, apparently. So, yeah, and if you're using a non-subscription version of Office, you can still dictate using the speech engine Windows plus H. And of course, Mac also has Dictate. Why wouldn't it?
I've got a message saying plan an upgrade from older version of Office to Microsoft 365 apps. So that's it knows.
It wants more money from you.
Yes.
No.
I know. My Office is 2021, and I couldn't find the dictation thing on the address bar, up top.
Yeah.
So I did Windows H, and it came up.
There you go.
There's just now because I switched to Word.
Yes. Good. Okay, that's
and then Russell and Dale, there's a few hands up. So Beatrix is next.
Yep, Beatrix.
Yeah. I've got an older version. I've got Office 2021 Home and Business. It doesn't have the icon on the bar at the top, but I did a Windows H and it came up. So I'm just wondering, well, you don't know what you don't know. So I would never have thought to have even asked that. Is there a list of these commands somewhere that you can explore to see what your machine can do?
Yeah, there are multiple places on the web where you can get a list of Microsoft keyboard commands. I'll see if I can find a good list for you. I must admit.
So if I did a search, would I search for Microsoft or for Office?
I'd search for Microsoft keyboard commands or Windows.
Windows
keyboard commands.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't waste your time then, Deborah. I can do that myself. Thank you.
Yep. Good.
And
Anybody else?
Yes,
Would you just put Windows or Windows 11 command? Oh,
yeah, Windows 11 commands would probably be better.
Yeah, okay, keyboard or just commands?
I'd just do commands, I think.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, try both. Russell?
Sorry, I can't get my hand down.
You got frozen shoulder.
Christine,
no, I can't see the icon at the moment.
I think I can help you. There you go. Yes, there you go. Yeah. And Stephen's got his hand.
One more time. It's like I just put a thing in the chat using the Windows H key to dictate the chat rather than type it in. So that's, I'm very impressed. This has been extremely useful. One, to know I've turned off BitLocker and it's taken about 20 minutes to turn it off. The snipping tool for text and video, really useful. And that Windows H I'm really happy I joined this one. Very useful.
Thank you.
Me too.
Yes. We'll try and keep the standard up for the next one.
Yes.
Now, we have 15 minutes left. I haven't got any prepared material, but I'm happy, Christine and I are happy to take Windows 11 questions if you have anything else you want to ask about.
What else don't we know? Someone said you don't know what you don't know, and there's three things that the BitLocker I doubt if I would have stumbled across. I might have caught on to the snipping tool, but I don't know that I would have stumbled across the dictation. But what else don't we know? that would be
So
handy?
yeah,
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I think we only ever use about 5 or 10% of what any app is capable of doing. And it really depends on what you're interested in. I subscribe to various newsletters like Android Intelligence and something from somebody called Tom, and I just browse through them for interesting tips that I can use, and then I save them to Evernote. And then if I need to run a course or a session like this, I go through and see what I think people would be interested in. So I do recommend, find a good newsletter that's got general IT stuff for not like technical people, but people like us, and keep up to date with things that way. And of course, come to club forums.
You know what I'd love to know how to do?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's with my computer, but when you get stuff off Google and it becomes a PDF file, you download it. Well, I've got 4 or 5 of them that somehow the address is too long and it won't let me change the name of it, and it won't let me delete them either, and it won't let me put them in any other certain file. It just on the screen, on the home screen, what do you call it? A desktop,
Yeah. Okay, so you've downloaded a PDF file and the file name is so long
Yeah.
that it's not letting you do things with it.
Won't let me change it, format it, or anything.
I'm going to go back to Gemini, my friend.
I've tried all
Yeah.
asking for advice, nothing happened.
Okay.
Short of formatting my computer, take everything off and format it and then put everything back on.
Mm-hmm. So what happens when a file name is too long? I'm just doing this for my curiosity. I know you said you've already done it. Okay, so the system prevents you from creating, saving, moving, or opening the file. Fails to sync, applications crash. Skip. The default for a single file name is 255 characters in most applications. Okay. So 3 fixes. Because the file name is not just the file name, it's also the folder structure that it's in. If you move it up to C drive, that might shorten. So instead of having it in C:// user documents, folder, and then the file, if you can drag it up to just the top C drive, that might be, or desktop, that might make the file name including
it's already on the desktop.
Oh, okay, so that's not a word. It says Windows 10 and 11 allow you to remove the default 260 character limit. Ooh. This is going to get quite technical, I suspect. But it sounds like that might be the solution, and then you can rename it.
Deborah, if I might butt in.
Yep. Do.
What your problem stems from when you downloaded the PDF. When you download something, you're prompted with a file name by default. Give it a short name right then and there and save it with the short name to start with. And then you don't have those issues.
Yep,
the other issue is that the author of the PDF may well have encrypted it so that it can't be changed or in any way at all. That's a possibility with something like Acrobat when it's being created.
I know that, but and I can't change it, but I can't even delete it, and I want to get rid of them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like this might be a solution. And you could do this and then turn it off again once you've deleted the files you want to get rid of. But it looks a little complicated. I don't want to try and demonstrate it here. I will put it in the notes.
Oh, thank you.
Because it involves doing the run dialogue and pasting in something and long paths enabled and then restarting. So, yeah, but as they were saying, better not to do it in the first place and make sure when you save a file, you give it a name that makes sense and isn't too long.
Yeah, I've learned that. No, I've learned that, but now the problem of getting rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions about Windows 11? Stephen, you've got your hand up.
Oh, not a question as much as I just typed in, God bless Gemini, hidden features that would be good to know about. And it comes up with one that's about end task from taskbar by right-clicking and forcing quit, just whether that's, I never knew. It's hard to know what, again, you don't know what you don't know. But anyway, it's just that sort of Gemini response and a couple of YouTube links, some stuff that I'll look at a bit later. Could be handy.
Tell me what it is. It
says quick end task from taskbar. Enable this via settings, system, advanced, or developers option to right click any app icon on your taskbar and instantly force quit without opening the task manager. So settings, system, advanced.
You got to change your settings.
Yeah.
All right. It doesn't look like I've got that enabled. I wonder what would happen if I did. If we go.
Supposedly, you can right click on a, and it will just close it rather than having to go through force close. Or that may be occasionally useful.
Settings, system.
Advanced.
Advanced. What is advanced?
Right click any app icon on your taskbar and instantly force quit without opening Task Manager.
It's cool. You probably can't see it. End task.
Yes.
Turning that on. I wonder, I don't know whether I need to restart to do this, but let's see if I now go down to right click on Windows.
Can we put those instructions? Yeah, the one that Stephen just read out, what he did.
I will end task. You can see I've now got that end task option I didn't have before. And when I click on end task, word closes.
It just goes away.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be handy.
That could be handy. All right, 2:55. We've got 5 minutes left. If anybody's got a tip, thank you, Stephen. That was excellent. Or anything else. Mike's got his hand up.
Going back to the BitLocker surprise for everybody, it really goes back to Windows 3.1, where Microsoft, during the first setup, you were prompted to put in your recovery disk to create a recovery CD of those days and later a DVD. Most computer salesmen never tell you what things are going to happen when you first turn on your Windows computer. And one of them is the BitLocker. So, you blame your salesman for that, I'm afraid. Whenever I helped anybody set up a computer, I always made sure they had the disk ready to do that recovery. And the same when you're setting up with Windows 11, first thing you do after setup is go in and check that you've got got a copy of your BitLocker recovery key if it was turned on. So, you know, these are the things that you should do when setting up the computer for the first time. Unfortunately, you know, most people who should tell you this don't bother.
Yeah. And even us who ought to know, I don't always have a regular backup and a system in image and a recovery disk. So guilty as charged. Okay, I need
Stace has got his hand up.
Okay.
Hang on, how do I get rid of autopilot or disable it?
Autopilot?
Yeah, the Microsoft one. Copilot or whatever they call it.
Oh, Copilot.
Copilot. Oh, it's getting more and more embedded in everything to do with Windows.
Whereabout is it appearing for you, Stace?
It every now and again it says, "Have you tried Copilot? Have you tried Copilot?"
Yeah. It's pushing you to
Yeah.
obviously
Well,
try
hopefully
it,
after
so.
Christmas I will be Apple Mac, and that'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You have my sympathy.
if you use Microsoft on Apple Mac, then you'll still get it coming at you.
I just want to comment that I wasn't going to come, but I'm glad I've come to this.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Stace.
Okay, and I hope you do something on Canva about Canva so I can learn it.
Yeah. Well, speaking
There is a session.
Natika's doing a session on Canva on the 26th of August. Remember that her sessions start at 11 o'clock Sydney time, 10:30 in the centre of Australia. 8
What
o'clock.
day is this?
This is Wednesday, the 26th of August.
Okay, thank you.
So the bookings,
Yeah.
the booking process is the same as for this one. You go to Humanitics. She's set up a collection of clubs forums, so all of our clubs forums are there. Sadly, this will be Natika's last club forum. ASCCA's not applying for a digital mentoring grant, and the club's forums were part of Natika's contract to deliver when she was delivering the digital mentor training. So I'm really sad to say that Natika won't be with us, and this will be her last club forum. So it'd be great if you all came and said goodbye to her. She's done a really good job over the last, I think, don't know how many years it is she's been doing this for us, but a lot. And I will be keeping going. Christine and I will keep going, but we'll go back to...
Yeah. Beatrix has got her hand up as well.
Yeah, Beatrix?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, look, Stace just reminded me, Humanitics, when I was trying to register for this particular forum, and I clicked on the Humanitics link, and I got these great big warning, you know, things from my Malwarebytes, and it must have been an add-on that I have, I'm not sure, but it was saying danger, you know, don't go to this site. And I eventually did go to the site and somehow managed to get myself registered, but I just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah, okay. Humanitics is a legitimate site. They we can advertise free events and we're not charged for it, which is why we're using it. So don't be put off by the warning signs if your security software thinks it's not a safe site. It is.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Can you put the address in the notes when you send them to us, please?
Yeah. I will put in a link.
Thank you. It's been a very good educational hour.
Good. Yeah, I put the links in the ASCCA newsletter each month if you subscribe to that. If you don't subscribe, you should.
I do, I get it.
Good. Okay, great. So they're also in there. and they should also be on the website somewhere. I just wanted to mention that thank you to everybody who, when you registered for this one, gave us suggestions about future topics. I thought it was interesting to show you what you've come up with. And there were a couple of things about cloud storage and iCloud storage. I said I'd do Google Apps next month, which is September, and then maybe in October we'll do some stuff on cloud storage, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes, please.
And I'll try and come up with some interesting takes on cloud storage as well. And that, I think, is the end. I can stop sharing. Thank you very much for coming today. I really enjoyed working with you. Great questions, great tips.
Thank you.
Yeah, great session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Wonderful.
And thank you, Christine, for being my offsider. We'll have to get you more actively involved in presenting, Christine, next
And
time.
Yes.
you're in the caretaker's cottage, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Bit hard to find, but if you put Computer Pals for Seniors The Hills into Google Maps, it comes up as a business and will give you the exact location.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's on
Bye-bye.
Tuesdays,
Thank you,
correct?
Deborah.
Thank you.
Tuesdays.
My voice there, Dave.
Thank
Great
you.
job. And same
Thank
to
you.
you.
Nice meeting you
Christine.
all. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Bye.